Hello Postman, Sneha this side, applying for Student Leader Program. In this video, I'll be explaining what's an API. First of all, API stands for Application Programming Interference. Secondly, how do they work? I'll explain that to my grandparents in a simpler way and a more relatable way. Of course, with a real life example, let's understand with a weather application program on your phone. When you check the weather, it doesn't create the weather data itself, right? Instead, the app uses an API which provides a weather services. Here's how it actually works. I'll explain you. It works basically with the 4 steps, which is request, dial, API call, and display. Let's understand it in a more faster way. First of all, the request. When you open the app, the weather application asks and you ask out for a current weather. The API calls, which means the app sends a request to the weather services API asking for the weather information. Response, which means the API from the weather services sends back the data like temperature and forecast. Display. The app displays the data which you needed. You don't need to understand how the weather services collects and processes the data, but what you actually need to understand is how the API works or handles the data which has been provided in a user-friendly manner. In simple terms, an API is like a bridge between the 2 different systems, allowing them to understand and share the data functionalities without needing to understand each other's inner working parts. For example, let's understand it in a simpler terms. An API is like a bridge between the 2 different systems, allowing them to communicate between each other and understand the data and the functionalities which are shared without needing to understand each other's inner working. For example, when you use a social media app to share a photo, the app might use an API to communicate with the Google Photos storage services to upload and save your images. Thank you, Postman. Hoping for a positive review. Here I end my video.